Good evening, friends. So we are going to discuss today the origin path attribute of BGP. The origin path attribute of BGP. So origin is one of the most important path attribute. So first we discuss about this path attribute briefly, and then we'll go for a practical. So first we can say every BGP NLRI must have this path attribute. Every BGP NLRI must have this path attribute. Then we can say it defines how does BGP learn a prefix or NLRI. It defines how does BGP learn a prefix. Then we can say it is introduced to help with transition from EGP to BGP. Before BGP, EGP was used, so it is introduced to help with transition from EGP to BGP. We can say it influences BGP base path selection process. It influences BGP base path selection process. So we have to remember that every BGP NLRI must have origin path attribute. It defines how does BGP learn a prefix, or you can say NLRI, network layer reachability information. It is introduced to help with transition from EGP to BGP. Before BGP, EGP is used. Now it is obsolete. EGP is obsolete, so we never see EGP anymore. Origin path attributes influences BGP base path selection process. So we have origin code. We have three origin code. One is I. We will see it when the prefix or the NLRI is injected with the network statement. or we can say that the origin code I is visible for our NLRI when BGP picks up the prefix or NLRI from the routing table. Then another origin code is E. If BGP picks up the prefix or NLRI from EGP, then we can see this origin code. But EGP, remember, EGP is no more in use today. It is obsolete. EGP is obsolete, so we never see this origin code. And the last one is this. It means incomplete. Question mark defines, origin code question mark defines incomplete. That means BGP cannot determine origin of the prefix or NLRI. How it is possible? It is possible when we use redistribution. At that time, BGP cannot determine the origin of the prefix or NLRI. We have to remember another point. If the same prefix is received one by I and one by incomplete, because we never see E anymore. So if a prefix is received, if the same prefix is received either by one by I and another by incomplete origin code, then I is always preferred than incomplete. BGP always prefers I over incomplete. So we'll go for a lab in such a way. We have R1, we have R2, and we have R3. R1 is AS10, R2 is AS20, R3 is AS30. So we have eBGP session between R1 and R2 and another eBGP session between R1 and R3. We advertise same prefix from R1 and R2, but using different method. From R1 we use network command, and from R2 we use redistribution. Then we verify in R1 which prefix is preferred and their origin course. Which prefix, we can say which source for the prefix 10.1.1.0/24 is preferred. So let's go for the lab. R1 is AS10 as per our diagram, R2 in AS20 and R3 is AS30. It is 12.0.0.1/24. It is 12.0.0.2/24. It is 13.0.0.1/24. and it is 13.0.0.3/24, and we will use the same prefix both in R1 and R2 to advise to R1. We will use the same prefix both in R2 and R3 to advise to R1. We will use loop back in R2 and R3. So first we will configure the IP address, interface serial 1/0, no shut, IP address 12.0.0.1. Then in R2, interface serial 1/0, no shut, IP address we will create a loop back. Now in R3, interface serial 1/1, no shut, interface loopback 0, IP address. So first we will check the connectivity from R1 to R2 and R2 to R3, R1 to R3. Yes. So then we will configure BGP. router BGP 10, neighbor 12.0.0.2, remote is 20 for R3, 13.0.0.3 and remote is 30. In R2, configure terminal, router BGP 20, neighbor 12.0.0.1, remote is 10, and in R3, configure terminal, router BGP 30, neighbor, remote is 10. Show IP BGP summary in R1. Both the neighbor is up. No prefix has been received from neither R2 or neither R3. Show IP BGP. So now in R3, R2 will mention network command. Network 10.1.1.0 mask 255, 255, 255. See. We know how to use network command. So show IP BGP in R1. The origin code is I because it is learned from network command. Now in R3 we use redistribute connected. Show IP interface brief. We have a loopback. That's why we are using redistribute connected, or show IP route. Now in R1 show IP BGP. When this network is also advertised. Now you can see, examine this part only. (10.1.1.0/24). This prefix is received both from R3 and R2. That's why the next hop is showing 13.0.0.3 and 12.0.0.2. The origin code from R3 is incomplete because we use redistribute command in R3. The origin code from R2 is I, that is from IGP, because we are using network command. But among these two, BGP prefers the route which is from R2, which is from R2. That means the route which is entered in using network command. Both are valid. If you say here, both are valid, but the best one is this. But the best one is this. Both are valid, but the best one is this. Why? Because the origin code is I in case of R2 and the origin code is incomplete in case of R3. show IP BGP 10.1.1.0. We've seen origin incomplete, origin IGP. It is based here. We use this command show IP BGP and then you use prefix 10.1.1.0. So I hope the origin path attribute is clear. It is a very small topic, so I don't want to waste your time anymore. Go through this video. If you have any question, please use the comment box. Share this video with your friends. I hope it will be beneficial for all of you. If you like it, kindly like the video. Thank you very much.